Good morning, everybody. It's Danny back from Deepsouth Homestead. Yep, another cold morning, guys. Freezing again this morning. The good thing is there's no wind blowing, so we're good. We got blue skies. That's nice, but won't last long. Temperature's gonna plunge again this weekend. So, with that being said, we've got to get some work done. What I've done is I went ahead and put 3 lathing on the side of the barn up here. This is what we're going to use to attach our vertical poplar boards on there that we got from Mr. Mickey on that section. Now I'll come back and put some bracing in behind them, but right now we've got them up. The next thing will be done as soon as the metal dries off and I can get up there this morning after the ice melts, is to put the transition flashing, or some people call it sidewall flashing, but it's actually not sidewall, it's transition flashing on there. I had to go and rebend all the transition flashing because it comes bent in about a 10 or 15 degree angle, and we needed about almost a 90 degree angle bend on it because that's only a 212 pitch. So we wanted to get that rebent so that I can install that. But in the meantime, we're going to be cutting the poplar boards we got from Mr. Mickey to the right length, and we're going to be trying to put a new product on them that is on the market. It's supposed to be a great wood preservative, and you can get it in a host of different colors and looks that you want. We chose one called Dark Mission. Once we put it on the board, Mr. Mickey looked at it and said, wow. He said to him, it looks like an old tobacco barn. And that, my friend, is the look that we're after. So we got to get over here and we got to get busy, but we'll show you a few things about what we got going on. And yes, the cows are hollering in the background. That's a normal thing here at Deepsouth Homestead. They're just a bunch of babies, and when they hear my voice, they just want me to come pet them. I mean, and I'm not going to this morning. I got too much to do. Okay, guys, I want to explain something to a lot of people. A lot of people ask, how do we do what we do? Back in 1989, I had bought a home 5 years prior to that. It was deep in debt, and I was sick of paying house notes. And I put the house up for sale, and the land that we had purchased. And guys, when I sold it, I owed more on the house than I had borrowed for it because I got shafted in a loan that I didn't realize at the time. It's called a rule of 98s, and lots of places that's outlawed now, but some places still use it. Well, I made my mind up then. I'm not living this lifestyle anymore. A lot of people go, oh, I can't move, I can't do this, I can't do that. Well, guys, I didn't have much money at all. I mean, I just made a measly $300 a week, and that's all I had. And I just put everything I had up for sale. I says, I'm getting out of here. Now, the land was great land for farming and everything like that, but the location was wrong. And I came out to where I'm at today. Now, not this exact piece right here, but a piece across the road over yonder. I made and negotiated a deal, and I had enough cash money left over off of my sale of that home after I got robbed by the banks. And I was able to pay cash for 10 acres, and I had just enough money left. I went to a lumber yard. Now, when I say lumber yard, I'm not talking about one like Home Depot or Lowe's. I'm talking about where they cut it out of trees, plane it, kiln dry it at a mill like that, where these places like Home Depot buy from. And I negotiated a price for all the material for the home that I wanted to build, and purchased it and brought it home in one of my 18-wheelers on a flatbed trailer, a 40-foot flatbed trailer. And I built that house with that. Now that just blacked it in, is all it done. From that point forward, I struggled to get that house built, but I did it. The way I done it, I found a company going out of business, and I went into that company and went through it. I bought over 500 pounds of nails at that time. Everything was at such a good discount. I bought finished nails, galvanized twist nails, number 12 sinkers, number 16 sinkers. I mean, you nail it. Roofing tacks. I bought just boxes and boxes, paper boxes of 50-pound boxes of nails. And guys, today, 33 years later, I'm still using those nails. Now here they are. Here's some of the roofing tacks that's in here. Now they've been in an old paper box, but you can see See how the ends of them, a lot of them will begin to rust like that? Now this is galvanized, but 33 years later sitting in an old paper box, they do start to rust a little bit on them. Now, not all of them, but some of them do. These twist nails here was in a paper box, but as I empty these plastic boxes out with decking screws, I take the nails out in paper boxes and move them over into this. These galvanized twist nails is what we're going to be using to put the poplar on with, because I don't want the bleeding look of nail heads running down my boards from a rusting nail, so we're going to use galvanized. Lots of the material that I have today that I use on all the projects around here came from that point in time. So I don't have a lot of expenses. I've had stuff stocked and stored for 33 years as I do projects around here, and I'm still using them. I don't throw anything away. That is how you get ahead, is you find deals, and when you go in, you buy in mass quantities. Now, it may seem like it isn't reasonable at the moment, but the bottom line is this: 33 years ago, I didn't know I was going to be building this. But I knew at some point in my life, I might need those nails, and I bought them. And really, at the time that I bought them, I couldn't afford them, but I did it anyway. And here I am today with the price of everything skyrocketing, and I'm able to do these projects because I made a wise decision 33 years ago. Guys, today we're going to be cutting up some of this poplar lumber that's done air dried pretty good here from Mr. Mickey up at hillsmill.com is his web page if you want to go check it out. He also has a new YouTube channel now called Hills Mill Homestead. If you want to check out that YouTube channel, I think he's got 1, maybe 2 videos up. He's new, getting started. Might want to show him some love and go over there and watch his videos. So guys, we've already figured our measurement up top. We know what it is now, and we're going to go ahead and start cutting these boards and getting them ready. And then as soon as we get that done, we're going to come behind it with this new product here that I was telling you all about. This is it here. It's called Ready Seal. It has UV blocking, water resistant. You don't have to do any back brushing, anything like that. It is a product by choice. You know, professionals use it. There's no laps, no runs, no streaks in it, anything like that. It's for fences, decks, exterior shakes and shingles, wood siding, gazebos, patio covers, log homes, all this type of stuff. And the Mission Brown is the color that we chose. Now, it does need shaking and stirring every so often while you're using it. So, and it is an oil-based stain and sealer. Now, we're going to only be doing one side of the board, the side that's facing the weather, and the ends and the edges. We're not going to do the back side because, in my experience, lumber needs a place to breathe. So we're going to try to get that done today. Now, I don't know if I'll get it all up today or not. It all depends, because this week is full, but we're going to give it the best shot we can. Okay, we got to go 4 foot 11 inches. And we're going to square that up. We're going to do several of them, and then we're going to cut them off. Let's see, that one looks pretty good on the end. And guys, the reason I can do this is Mr. Mickey went ahead and squared one end of this lumber before he ever brought it down. And I told him he didn't have to do that on the second load. So this load has all been squared on one end.
So thank you, Mr. Mickey.
Yes. Thank you a lot. Okay guys, these boards are 10 feet long, so we're going to be able to get 2 cuts per board, which will greatly help us out, because when we were having the barn built, I mentioned to the guys doing the construction, we originally had talked about 8-foot sides, and I told them, I said, look, can you make it taller for me, because the posts were taller? They said, we'll make it whatever you want, Mr. Danny. And I said, okay, figure me 4 foot 11 inches from the top down to where that roof starts going down at, and whatever the rest of it is I'm okay with. So I ended up with 10 foot out there, 4 foot 11 inches up here, which meant I have actually almost no waste on my lumber that I got from Mr. Mickey. That was just a forethought. When you're designing something and you're building something, take those kind of things into consideration. One thing you want to pay attention to also is seasoning cracks in it. If you can cut those out, you really need to cut them out if you can. That seasoning crack here, if you have an opportunity to cut those out, you need to cut them out. Another thing you want to pay attention to is your grain in the wood. This side is the heart side. You always want to put the heart side down, because if you'll notice, this is starting to bow up like this on the end. It's starting to pull up like this. You put the heart side down, you drive nails in it here, and it pulls it back down flat. If I turn it over this way, and I put it on, then you see how the grain is there? That acts like a bowl or a cup. If this gets wet, especially if it's laying down, then it can't let the water get out of it, because it's like a cup sitting here holding it, and it stays wet, and your wood will rot a whole lot faster. Where if you turn it over like this, and the grains are going in the opposite direction, when water hits it, it will shed away from it and run around those grains and get away from it. So we'll be staining this side here, and the bottoms and the sides, and we'll be standing it up in the back side. We won't have any stain on it.
It's like putting on burnt motor oil.
Yeah, it's what it looks just like, burnt motor oil.
And it smells like it.
Even smells like it, yeah.
I guess it smells like stain, but as long as we get the ends.
Yeah, the ends are what's really important, especially when it's the part down closer toward where it sits on the other roof.
Yeah.
That is a biggie.
We want it absorbed into it.
Want it absorbed into it really good. We may come back and do it a second time,
but we're gonna do it the first time. But look at that color. And this will dry, guys.
Oh, it'll dry totally different. I know it looks like that, but trust me, it dries completely different.
You just want it sopped in there really good.
Yeah, just put it in there. It'll absorb in. That wood just sucks it. This stuff is designed to be sucked up by the wood.
And penetrate all the way through.
Yeah, it's supposed to go deep into the wood, preserving it. You don't have to keep going over where you're done being. That's the whole purpose of that type stain.
Okay, just keep going.
Yep, you just put it on like that and just keep walking with it. That's the reason they call it no streak, one lap stuff. You just keep walking with it.
And then we got to do this.
Yeah, and we want to do the sides.
Which it'll absorb down in there.
It will.
The sides will look that way, but we want to make sure.
Like when you hit that on that end, hit that on that end again. Like just back away, just back away. See how fast that goes in there, guys? It's sucking it up that fast.
Wow.
It's just like,
That's crazy.
yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
So it's doing what we need.
It's doing what it needs supposed to be doing. That's one thing that sold me when the company talked to me about it.
So I'm gonna continue to get all these boards ready. Mr. Danny's gonna be ready to go up.
I'm gonna go back and start cutting because right now the ice is melting on the top roof, dripping down onto the second roof, and I've got to put the closure strips on that second roof, and they're not going to stick as long as that metal's cold and wet. So it'll be a little bit later up in the day after it dries off some with this hot sun popping on us right here. We'll be able to maybe get the closure strips put in. But see, I want to, like, that's what I want to show, is that how it, I mean, it just sucks it right in there. That's some awesome stuff right there, guys. Check it out. It's called Goof Proof Ready Seal.
This has got a spot in it that ain't gonna, it's got like a blimp in it. I don't know what that is, but anyway. What do you think, Papa?
I'm liking it. It's looking old.
This one's drying faster than some of the others.
Yeah, the other one's got more heart in them. The ones with the heart's not going to dry as fast because it doesn't absorb water. So it's going to take a lot longer for the ones with the heart.
Look like a tobacco barn, like Mr. Mickey said.
Yeah, it's looking old. That's what I wanted, something that looked old. All right, guys, another thing I want to bring out is when you have a knot on the outside of the board like this and it splits and goes down into the piece of wood you're using for boards on your walls, you don't want to use that piece because when water runs down the wall, it'll hit that crack and run down inside it and come inside the building. Here's another one here I cut off. See how it goes through it? Water will go all the way through it on a knot on the outside edge of the board. Here's another one down here on this. The knot being on the edge of the board, it cracks, water can run down. Even if you put a batten over it, water can still get in it and run down in it when you're, so you don't want to use these for your boards to go up on the sides of the building. Now, it's not a total loss because I have to have batten to go back over the boards that we put up. So I'll take what I can get out of the other boards and rip my batten down out of it, till I get to where that split's at. And then from that point forward, the rest of it we'll probably just use for, I don't know, whatever. We'll just have to find a project for it. And for those of you who don't know what batten is, that's like when you take two boards here and you put them side by side like this. Water would go down in between it, so you cut a strip about 2 inches wide or 2.5 inches wide to go across this here and nail it. You don't nail it to the boards. You nail it in between the boards here so that as the boards expand and contract, they don't split the batten and allow water to go in it. So that's just something that we're going to be doing here on the barn also. Alright guys, we've now got the flashing, the transition metal's what it actually is. I've got it against the board here, all the way down through the roof here. We've got it all the way down. There's one piece short down there at the very end because the company was a little short of metal that day. They got to reimburse me for a couple of pieces of metal, but that's where we're at with it now. We are ready to start putting our wood up here. See, our other band is actually up under the roof up under there. And of course we have the roof up here up top. Everything looks good, level, straight. Guy's done a fantastic job with that. So we was happy with that. When we're up here, this is what we're looking at. From up on top of this particular porch roof. The view is spectacular from up here. That's one reason we like it up here. I'm going to put the door and the window up here and all that kind of stuff. It's just because the view is just awesome from up here. I come around, shows you how high up in the air we are. Just really, really nice. The view is really good. Now back here is where we were talking about. We wanted this view back here out the back of this in here. Of course, I'll give you a view of this right up here. This is what the upstairs looks like. Cows are down there with their hay right there. It's a large area up here that we'll have for storage, for hay, whatever we want to use it for. They're over there in the corner. Over here is where the stairs will come up at, and right here is where we're talking about putting a window or a door or something. I already have some posts set back here in the very back. There's one there, and there's actually a third one over there if I can. Well, I don't know if I can get around far enough to, yeah. You can see it right in the corner of the screen there. Those three are set for another roof that's going to come off the back here, for the cows to have a place to get up under for me to feed them, and where they won't be in the rain or anything like that. So that's where we're at. Our next phase is to start putting up that lumber that Ms. Wanda has laid out down yonder.
Does it look good from up there?
Well, I'm having to look through the floor joists, so I can't really see it too good. But I guess I could do this. Hold on just a minute, everybody. There we go. There's kind of the look. I mean, we can see a little bit of it right there. There's kind of the look that we'll be getting. It's an old look, and that's what we're after. First board, I can tell you, I'm going to have a skill saw. I'm going to skill saw down this first one.
So what do you think?
I think this is aggravating with a bum knee.
What do you think about the wall then?
I like it. I think it's going to be the look that we're after.
From down here, I know it is when you get these eaves done.
Yeah, I got to extend them out a little bit before I go any further. But yeah, these boards are turning out. I think the color is what we're after.
I do too.
Now, I can't see it from a distance, but up close it looks like it's pretty close to what we were shooting for. I guess when I get down, I'll be able to tell more about it. Well guys, the dirt we've been digging out in front of the barn here to kind of level it out, I've been spreading it in the garden because it's good topsoil. And I told Wanda, I said, you know, this dirt's never been hunted for arrowheads out here or anything. And then I found this tool. I don't know what kind of tool it is. They must have used it to, maybe to scrape something with. I mean, I don't know how they would. It fits your fingers real good like that, like you could scrape, maybe scrape hides or something with it. And then these points off of arrowheads and stuff. And then this long skinny one right here. Big chip, like they were making an arrowhead off of a big rock or something and chipped that off. But yeah, I expect this year when we garden this, as we go through and pull weeds and stuff after the rains and stuff like that, we'll probably find more artifacts in the soil. And plus I have more digging out to do. We're not through, and I'm gonna be spreading it out here even more. So the arrowhead hunting will continue here at Deep South. Well guys, we didn't get finished with putting them up on the barn this evening, but we got most all of them with the stain on them, and I'm gonna tell you what, they are looking really good. I like that look. It looks old and weathered now. Well, this is how far we got. We have this up, and we got, you know, what we just showed on the ground over here. And I think it's gonna look good. Now we'll have to come back and put the batting on it later, but right now we're just trying to get it closed in. And guys, I'm going to be putting a fascia board on it and all that kind of stuff up there that matches. So we're kind of getting excited about getting that done where it all looks good. We wanted one that resembled the old-fashioned barns. We just didn't want the old metal look to it, you know? I mean, the old barns had galvanized metal on top of them and wood on the sides and looked weathered and everything. And we tried to choose a stain sealer that mimicked that look. And I think we got pretty close to what we were looking for. Only time will tell once the sun begins to bleach it a little bit and it weathers more and stuff like that. But this is how far we got. And we're going to continue to work on it. And you just have to stay with us to see what the rest of it's going to look like. Thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.